Okay, guys. So this was a wild ride. Talk about serendipity. As you can see, and I'm about to take off back to San Antonio, and as you can see, there's cars lining up and down this street, and that's as much parking as there is. And when I arrived, literally I found a parking space, and yeah. As soon as I arrived, I found a parking space. So I didn't get to do the offering because it was wall to wall people. It's crazy mad as far as like these people live here, or these are their summer homes or rentals or whatever. I don't know if you can see the beautiful homes here. And then there's people that are ahead of me that of course I have to be careful not to hurt because they're on bikes. So I got in the water and did my cleansing, and I feel fabulous. Now the funny thing was, Miss Thing over here thought she was being real like careful and everything. I took everything with me. I took in my bag. I put on all my collares. For those that are santeros know what collares are. They're part of, your initiation when you become a santera, or when you're half seated or anything like that. And so I put that on. I was like, yeah, they're going in the water with me too, even if they're not all, salt water goddesses. They're going in the water with me. So I went ahead and took them in the water with me. I took my Yamaya, my statue, of course, Yamaya, representative of my goddess, and I took her and I put her, between my legs, because the waves kept breaking so hard that literally it was like, oh my God, I'm gonna lose her. And I sat in a place where it could wet my hair and wet the top of my head and everything, and cleanse my heart chakra, cleanse my solar plexus, will cleanse me completely, front and back. And I really enjoyed this. I really did. I stayed in there for about a good 30 minutes. Honestly, because that's all I came for. I know that sounds crazy to people that I drove, 200 miles or so, 250 I think it is, just to get in the water, just to get my cleansing bath. But there's nothing, no salt bath can compare to sitting in the ocean and releasing into, la naturaleza, into nature, anything that's plaguing you, anything that's bothering you, anything that's blocked, that you feel like you need opening up. And all I can say is I went to Mustang Island, and a constable turned me around and said, "I'm sorry, ma'am, we're full. Do you have a reservation?" And I said, "No, sir, I don't." I said, "But I only want to be here for like maybe 30 minutes. And he said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, ma'am. Without a reservation, we're fully packed capacity, and we're not allowed due to COVID." I said, "No problem, sir." He goes, I said, "Sir, but do you know of any other place I can go, that's open?" And he says, "Yeah, actually I do." And I said, "Really?" He said, "Yes, I actually do." And I said, "Where?" And he goes, Bob Mills Beach, and I said, "Oh." He says, "Yeah, it's if you go straight out that way, and then you just turn hang a left, you'll get there." And I said to myself, well, ain't that special? Because I knew where that was, due to the fact that I'm still trying to do the sandia, the watermelon portion, if I can. I'm trying to be a good steward of trying to give my offering here. And so I said, yeah, I know where that is. So anyway, I made my way to, Bob Miller's Pier. And yeah, sure enough, I was able to get on in there. But like I said, there were so many cars, and just as I arrived, this dude in a big old truck was taking off. So I said, yes, this is, you know, serendipitous. This is meant to be. I'm gonna get my limpia, my cleansing. And I was like, should I take the watermelon? And then I was like, there's way too many cars, so I am not thinking that's gonna be a good idea. It's not gonna happen. Just like I don't think it's gonna happen right here either. So I said, okay, well, pues, it's not meant to be. That's cool. So nonetheless, I took my happy little butt and went to the water. And I'm like, you know, I brought 2 pairs of shoes. Actually, I brought 3. And I'm like, yeah, I'm taking off my good flip-flops, and because there's going to be sand all over the place, I want to make sure that I'm going to put my good flip-flops and take them off and put them here, so when I'm driving, when I get off to the stores and whatnot, gas up, etc., I'm going to have my flip-flops. Son of a gun, if I didn't put on 1 blue flip-flop and 1 black flip-flop. But I didn't know this. So I'm sitting in the water, I'm enjoying the water and the ebb and the flow of the waves, and the fact that it's, you know, the waves are breaking over me and practically going over my head. So I did swallow some salt water, and some went up my nose, as normal, you know, when you get into waters, right? And I was laughing my butt off because this is happening to me. Now, all of a sudden, I don't know, something told me, look back. And I'm like, what the hell? What's up with my shoes, right? My shoes are moving. And I put my shoes really far away from the water and the water's edge. I put them way, way far away so that I knew that the water wasn't going to come and take them, you know. And hell, if one of them is not floating around. So I'm like, oh, hell. So I got to go, you know, get my shoes and move them further out. And that's when I realized that dummy here had literally put on 1 blue shoe and 1 black shoe and walked through the beach and walked through all these people, which I know they don't give a good hoot or holler of what I'm wearing and what I'm not wearing, because most of the people here in Texas, we really don't give a shit, you know. We're kind of real laid back, and we don't judge people. But I just thought, how observant am I, you know, how much did I really need this cleansing, that I didn't even realize. Muy mona, como dicen en español, muy mona. Such a little doll here. She thinks she's all cool, she's all that in a bag of chips, and she's running around with 1 blue and 1 black shoe. So I thought that was so freaking hilarious, and I just wanted to share that with you. Now I'm going into this store, and I'm going to buy myself a souvenir. That's what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to go in this nice store. It's called something Padre Island for sale t-shirts. Woo! Yeah, Padre Islander and whatnot here. And so I'm going to do the touristy thing. And I'm going to go in and buy myself some t-shirts and some, you know, souvenirs. I'm going to do the touristy thing, and I'll be back with you guys. This is part 2. This is part 2 of my way back home to San Antonio. Love you guys.